Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, level up. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, shoulda had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, level up. Never lose, shoulda had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. I wanna ball. Waking up meant that he gave me a chance and I'm rolling the dice. I do it all. Living like I'm trying to go for the platinum trophy in life. Who can you call? Really nobody, so you should just follow me on your device. And know if she chilling with me, then it's bound to be chemical X and the sugar and spice. Game in the system, but game is the hobby. I'm probably cocky, but hot as wasabi. I mean, if it's beef, then you know where to find me. My niggas is ready and so is my body. You should be running and telling your posse and what's in the speakers and what's in your potty. And she trying to kick it, but this ain't karate. Just keep that shit down while I'm watching Tsunami. I ain't saying I'm a super nerd, but I told you when we got involved, my idea of a perfect date is a PlayStation and some alcohol. I was role playing on GTA. I'm a good guy, but I got it all. If the world should end, be the first to leave, but the last of us acting naughty, dog. Level up, level up. Never lose, shoulda had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, level up. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, shoulda had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, level up. Never lose, shoulda had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, shoulda had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, level up. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, shoulda had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, level up. Never lose, shoulda had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. I wanna ball. Waking up meant that he gave me a chance and I'm rolling the dice. I do it all. Living like I'm trying to go for the platinum trophy in life. Who can you call? Really nobody, so you should just follow me on your device. And know if she chilling with me, then it's bound to be chemical X and the sugar and spice. Game in the system, but game is the hobby. I'm probably cocky, but hot as wasabi. I mean, if it's beef, then you know where to find me. My niggas is ready and so is my body. You should be running and telling your posse and what's in the speakers and what's in your potty. And she trying to kick it, but this ain't karate. Just keep that shit down while I'm watching Tsunami. I ain't saying I'm a...
Okay, hopefully I did this right and I didn't completely break it. It's possible because I often break things. Now, I see that the overlay is not running and now it is. Okay, now we got it where I want it. Hey guys, welcome back. It is Double XP. I know that I'm not your usual heavy-set black man, but I'm here to make a slight replacement. You know, it's like, do you have we'll just say I'm a variant. I'm feeling very Disney right now. So I'm an absolute variant, and you guys, if you want, I guess you can call me Fame. If you slip up and say, hey, Fame, I'm not going to be too mad. I'm only going to correct you 2 times so you guys can have it. But no, I'm Baron J67, and welcome back to Level 1 Gaming's flagship show, Double XP. Now, we're going to be talking about some crazy stuff. Somehow, some way, Nier Automata, which is a game I haven't played, but I've watched a lot of people, such as like Dallas Man, play. It's going to somehow be running on Switch. And then there was a bunch of other games that were announced. And I've been playing a Battle Royale pretty heavily, which is wild, and we'll jump into that. But let's get over to my first introduction. And wait a second. Okay, so first I got to ask, is there a X through Johnny Man's like face?
Yeah. Okay. I think that's he changed it to that.
Oh, okay. So we have Walt, writer and podcast host extraordinaire, who came in to save my hide as usual. Walt, what is going on, bro?
Uh, much to my dismay, feeling a little. It's like a day sickness. Feel like I don't feel completely 100%,
Mm.
but I don't feel like I'm gonna get worse. I just feel like I'm gonna get like the worst has passed, I think, and it was like an hour ago. I was just like, ugh, like I don't want to stand up. Uh, but it was actually nothing because we're just super weak. Men are super weak. We're
Yeah,
just
bro, don't get me started on that. Like I was sick yesterday and I like took off work and everything, and here it is. My wife is like pregnant, waddling around, and I'm just not like. It feels weird complaining about anything, right? Like, what do I look like saying, "Oh, my head hurts. Oh, I feel exhausted. Oh," and she's like growing a whole human, and I'm just sitting here
she's like
complaining.
roofing while growing a baby,
Yeah,
while cooking on the side, while
bro.
like
No, let me shame myself real quick. I went to sleep for like 6 hours in the middle of the day. I woke up. She had somehow, not somehow. I mean, it's not like she's a magician. At least I don't.
woof, magician
I mean, yeah, I didn't see it,
sometimes.
but all of a sudden, like the living room's rearranged. She moved one of the like the seats and took the legs off and put it back together in her office, and then it was just all this stuff moved around, and I just woke up and my house was different. So yeah, we men are weak.
But yeah, we're here to talk games, some
Yeah.
some direct, some good stuff, and welcome on everybody in the chat. I saw Mini Yeti there,
Mini
Hustle Motive.
Yeti!
I saw even Fame is lurking.
Oh
Oh,
Lord, that guy. Ugh, he gets on my
he's
nerves.
what do you wait? If you said you're substituting him, that means you need to show the same undoubtful love for Marvel's Avengers.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'll do that before we introduce Johnny because he's absolutely. I can't tell if he's here or not. Johnny, can you give me a digital wink? Did he do it?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh. Okay, so let me tell you guys. So there was this crazy raid, right? And I was dressed up. I had my full Black Panther cowl on. I took it back to the '70s. I had the full cape and cowl of the Black Panther outfit. And as we're raiding and we're sitting here trying to destroy whoever right now, somebody summoned Mighty Thor. You know, not just regular Thor. We had Mighty Thor. It's not Jane Foster because that would have cost too much. So we just got Thor from another universe, and they're like the move set was almost exactly the same except their lightning was a different hue. But I guess from what I heard, if you have depending on your refresh rate, it looked exactly the same as regular Thor, but totally cool different skin. And you know, you replace the A button with the B button. Like it's, it's different, and it's such an intense experience. So yeah, that I've been having a lot
Beautiful.
of fun with the Avengers. Now,
Man.
Johnny Man, co-host of Star-Crossed Gamers, actually the main host. I'm just there to like take up space and sound waves. Johnny Man, what is up?
Hey guys, welcome to the Star-Crossed Gamers. I'm just kidding. Sorry I took so long. I was just playing Marvel's Avengers.
The greatest
I was
game
just
ever.
playing with, that's right, millions of players worldwide. And I was just playing with the newest DLC character out now on all stores, Morpheus, and with his ultimate ability, it's Morbin time. Guys, you gotta go check it out. It's really cool. I swear.
Are we gonna sit here and bash Avengers for the next hour? Because I'm
All I
down
know
for
is
it.
that, I mean, I don't know that much. I just know that Hulk's got a smash, and that's basically his whole move set, right?
Okay,
Like left ground pound.
I'm gonna tell you this because I did run with the Hulk for a while. His like ranged ability is amazing. And I overpowered and doubled down on my range ability, which is him just picking up chunks of earth and throwing it at individuals, and it is so overpowered. And then his like thunderclap. But so I'm not gonna sit here and act like I had fun with the game. But Johnny,
Yes.
who is your main outside of It's Morbius, right? That's your main.
Well, you know, it's either that or it's gotta be like, I don't know, maybe Batman or something.
I was hoping you were gonna say like Danny DeVito Wolverine. Moving on.
I don't know who that is. Is
And
he from which universe is he from?
the one that Wolverine should really look like, because they always make Wolverine look tall, and he's not tall. Wolverine is not tall. He's a short, angry Canadian. like he,
Oh, are you saying Wolverine is Hugger?
ah,
Josh?
Hugger's Wolverine confirmed.
wow. We just Captain America with the Puerto Rican flag. I like how they retconned it when they sent him dark when he went off the grid. Then they all of a sudden like changed his outfit. But yeah, it has been confirmed here that Hugger is in fact at least X-23.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Bare minimum, she definitely has 4 claws. She may not have 6. She has 4. And we had just joining in and voice of the avatar who has the hand gestures that pay the bills, and we're sticking with that.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh yeah. No pause. All the way. Gas. We're gassing that one up. Dallas man, thank you for just stepping in, bro. I appreciate you. Let the folks know, what have you been playing?
oh man, I was a little late on the bat signal. But what's good, everybody? I have my avatar moving around in just a quick second. But what have I been playing? I haven't been playing a whole lot. And can you believe I still haven't finished Elden Ring? For the
I
time
can.
that listen, the thing about that game is I'm determined to enjoy it because it reminds me of games that like when I first started really getting into RPGs and I wasn't really privy to the structure of games, and so everything was kind of like a new discovery to me. Um it because it reminds me of that, I'm determined to recapture that. So I'm gonna take my sweet time with it, and I'm going to like discover things organically as much as possible. I'm going to try to not look up quest lines and builds and stuff like that as much as possible. Like when I say I'm not going to not look up builds as much as possible, it's kind of giving me analysis paralysis because I got like 12 larval tiers I'm sitting on, and I'm scared to use even one of them so I don't like so I don't mess up like an experimental build or whatever. But I've been playing a little bit of that. I've tried Naraka Blade Point just a bit on Game Pass
We're gonna
because
talk about that in a bit.
why not?
Mm.
And I haven't played all that much of it, but yeah, we'll talk about that when we talk about it. And what else have I touched? I played a very little
pause.
bit of pause of TMNT, and I have
Mm.
played. Um, Actually, I also saw Assassin's Creed Origins go on Game Pass, and there's something about Origins, and y'all know what it is for me. But I had to run that a little bit too.
Honestly, real talk, I preferred Origins over Odyssey. I haven't played Valhalla. I've heard people kind of say that Valhalla was like a good blend of those two. Um, but Origins, I felt like it had more intricate boss battles. I felt like it had. I haven't finished it because, of course, I don't ever. Oh Lord, I have. I haven't finished it, but also, it's. I like the hunting. I felt like the
Hmm.
hunting was removed out of Odyssey. Um, I don't know. It just felt more like a RPG in
Oh
Origins than it
yeah,
did in Odyssey.
and then like I mean the ecosystem, like there's a whole cohesive ecosystem, so they kind of really put an emphasis on the wildlife there and
Hmm.
and how they behave. And hippos actually behave like hippos, meaning they are
Yeah,
gangster.
aggressive. Oh, and I just wanted to point out, guys. You guys make sure to look down in the meme box. That is the GS5 that Fame bought. along with his Double Shock 2 or Double Shock 4 controller.
One of
But
a kind.
yes, one of a kind. It's definitely, that's what happens when you order it off Wish. But let's jump right into it. So since Dallas brought up Naraka Blade Point, that's the full name of the game, right? Because I just
Yep.
call it Naraka.
Yep.
I've been playing the heck out of it. I've been needing a break from the game that I'm reviewing because it is a deep Fire Emblem Ogre Battle-esque RPG, and I'm fighting for my life, and I'm farming, and I'm like doing a bunch of stuff other than just completing the story. So I needed a mental break, and I seen Naraka Blade Point pop up. Right, I seen it pop up in Game Pass, and I was like, huh. Let me see. I like Kung Fu. I like martial arts. Let's see how it feels. I won my first match, and I was hooked. Now, I thought it was one of those things, right, where they were kind of like, hey, let's just try to get as many people here as possible and put a bunch of bots in a room and make them feel good about themselves, like League of Legends. Because if you guys have ever played League of Legends, that's exactly what they do. They bring you up, put you in a full match with bots, make you feel like you're just know what you're doing, and then you get into your first real lobby with your 3 heroes, and it just goes horrible. But back to Naraka. Ran my first trio, quick match. We wrecked. I think I had like 10 kills. It was stupid. Like we just absolutely destroyed. And I felt really good about myself, and then I went to sleep because I was like, let me just ride this high. I'm not going to ruin it by getting destroyed in the next match because I thought it was a fluke situation.
Yeah, you gonna retire at your peak.
Yeah, I know how to walk away. I'm the guy who will lose 100 times to you in a fighting game and then beat you once and never play it again. I'm that guy. And then I'll make sure to rub it in your face every time the game gets brought up. Like, remember that time I beat you? Because I know the imaginary person whom I've destroyed. See how I talk? Even though I lost 100 times, it doesn't matter. Because for them, they don't remember the 100 wins. They just remember that one loss to the guy who shouldn't have beat them.
They just remember that one time they shouldn't have went to their secondary character.
And that's always how I get them. They start getting comfortable, bold, like, I'll use anybody. Really? Huh. You'll use anybody. Yeah.
Well, I just am the only move I know how to do.
Mm-hmm. Leg sweep. Super. Leg sweep.
That's me in League when I almost always play top lane. And my go-to, because I don't play regularly, so I'm like, I try to go for beginner-friendly champions.
Gotcha.
I always go for Ilawi, and the thing with Ilawi is that she is one of the more like, if you're starting to play the game, she's easy to use and whatever. Yeah, she's so easy to use that if you play against people that are actually pretty good with more harder to learn champions, you can smoke them with Ilawi if you know like the basic combos. And I've met people that are like, like I hate her because she's just so easy and she's just so hard to beat sometimes because she's just so easy to use. And I'm like, okay, then I'll keep using her. Then I'm the guy, and I've said it before, if I'm camping and I'm winning, I'm gonna keep camping.
Yep.
And also, listen, I'm sorry to interrupt and
No,
not to be weird, but I kind of like how you say her name.
What, Ilawi?
Yeah, it's just, it rolls off the tongue. It's like
Yeah, listen, man. When you've been speaking Spanish for 20-odd years, that's like when I like pronounce like we say Naraka, but when I say Naraka, or like when I say like anything like that is in Romaji, which is like the English like pronunciation of like Japanese words, people are like, oh wait, no, yeah, that's my name. Like when I used to work for like an airline, and I used to like, oh yes, ma'am, miss, I don't know, like Satoshi or whatever, and they're like, oh, no, yeah, that's how you say it. Oh, and I'm like, no, yeah, because I'm not white. I don't know.
He said I have some seasoning.
Yeah.
But no, okay, so
Naraka.
I thought this game was scamming me, right? I was like, I thought they were trying to pull me in, get me to get the battle pass, and then
And you
It was
know a
kind
lot
of
of
good.
I was about to say
yeah,
MMOs. You know a lot of battle royales do that too. I know
yeah.
specifically. I
Was it
remember my
Spellbreak?
first. Yes,
Yeah,
I was about to
Spellbreak.
exactly my first match in Spellbreak. I specifically remember them doing it.
You know
I
how to hit,
remember.
and
felt like
Fortnite
somebody.
does that a lot lately. Where I don't know if they're doing it now recently, but I know that for a
Oh
long
yeah,
time you would get paired with bots like a lot.
my
Hmm.
first time playing
Peace
Fortnite,
out,
same
Yeti.
thing. You
Um,
right? Can I
my.
ask?
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask what specifically? Because I there's something specifically, and I'm pretty sure you'll know when you see it. That attracted me to the game. But what specifically attracted you to Naraka Blade Point?
What made me pick it up was boredom, not boredom, needing a break from the game that I was
Mhm.
playing. Because as you guys know, when you're reviewing, if you haven't reviewed a game, when you're reviewing a game, no matter how much you love it, it starts to lean more towards work than the fun part. It's just a
Yeah,
natural
there comes
thing.
a time.
Yeah, it's just especially when you're 30 hours in, like it's just the thing. And I needed a break, and I needed to look at something different, and then I couldn't watch Umbrella Academy because my
Mm,
wife was working. So I was like, let me, because I gotta watch it with the missus. I
I
was like,
can relate.
let me see what's let me just try out Naraka Blade Point. Installed it, um, and it was it actually is. It looks overwhelming
Mm,
when you load it up. It looks like, I'm glad they did a pretty decent job of the intro and kind of guiding you through, and then they have decent markers and it's easy. Like, they got the whole, I usually hate the mouse type thing on the controller where the cursor moves like a mouse. I usually hate it,
Oh, I
but
still hate it. That's my
I
biggest pet peeve with this game.
I don't mind it because there is so much going on, and it's still kind of, they figured out a way to streamline it, at least for me. And normally I'm the one to complain about wild menus, but I booted it up, played it. The combat felt fun. It clearly was made for PC,
Hmm.
but they clearly ported it to console because it's very flighty. It feels like it should. Like, I was talking to Walt before we went live. I was talking about how it's supposed to be a it. I don't even lock on. It just, it's super flighty. But what brought you to it? Because I'm talking too much. I should be eating.
Um, okay, so I like the concept just in general, right? Like just
Mm-hmm.
anytime there's a nice looking kung fu game to come across, I make it a point to talk about it here. Um, but specifically, I saw an update that they did with Bruce Lee, and
Mm.
y'all know how big a Bruce Lee fan I am. I showed up a couple times on the show with the Game of Death, and I cringe when people say Kill Bill, but I understand. Um, I
It's an
is
age thing.
it is. I'm my age is showing for real, for real.
Hmm.
So I saw there was an update with Bruce Lee, and just seeing his likeness in a game still does something. I don't know what it is, but I saw anytime I see his style, anytime I see Jeet Kune Do, whether it's him
Mm.
using it or not, I have to play. I have to at least try it. And so that was kind of my thing. That it kind of enticed me to try it out. That, and I really like um when certain weapons are in a kung fu game. Like
Mm.
you can never miss me with a bow staff. Like it's one of my go-tos. You can never miss me with nunchucks. It's always one of my go-tos. It's just you can put those things in a game, and it does not matter the quality of your game. I will try it. Um, so it was specifically that, and then it's got the wushu, crouching tiger, hidden
He's a
dragon
cheap
mixed with.
date. No, but keep going.
Hey, I'm telling you, like a pair of nunchucks and a bow staff, and you got a party.
Hey, we have some Wukong in the van.
You do. Then And then when you and me had the conversation about the game, I was like, "Hey, the Rocket Blade Point is coming to Game Pass, blah
Mm-hmm.
blah 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 blah." You was like, "Oh, and I think you could do some like Wukong stuff." Wait, I'm in there. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
And it was literally exactly all the things I just described that were reasons that I absolutely had to try it. But just certain stuff I can jive with, certain stuff I can't. Like you said, clearly the game was made for PC. It's a copy and paste port almost, and I don't hate that. It works for it. It's a part of it's kind of a part of the charm, a part of the personality of the game, for the most part. Um, but at the same time, the flightiness of the look controls, like I really it bothers me that it feels like you meant to control it on the mouse. Everything just moves so fast, and I didn't think enough to like go into the options before I started the tutorial. So it really hit me in the tutorial, right? And then during the tutorial, I tried to go into the options and could not find them for the life of me. I still don't know where they are in game, and you have to find them in the menus outside the game, right? If I had one like major downside to the game for me, it's that, because if I can't really sit comfortably in the controls of a game, it's hard for me to really get into it. So if it wasn't for the aesthetic, it would have taken me much longer to care. But I have to say, you can see the combat coming together. Like you can understand why. I'm not gonna say it's like the most well balanced thing in the world, but it's absolutely fun, and it's worth sinking a little bit of time into. I'm not saying I play this like we used to play Destiny back in the gap, but it's absolutely worth sinking a little time into if you like the aesthetic.
Now, Johnny, real quick, because I got a funny feeling you haven't played this game. Have you played Naraka Blade Point?
I have about 23 hours in it.
Wait, are you serious?
Wow.
For real?
Yeah.
Or
Oh.
you jiving us?
This man's over here like, I am the one that.
Did I fall into your trap card?
Hey, I never said I was good. I just said that I have playtime in it, you know?
Okay.
Oh snap!
I
Tell us
don't
about
have-
it.
Yeah, tell us about your
have all-
experience, please.
I only have 3 wins to my name.
He's
It
serious.
was largely due to team participation more
You're
than my actual
serious?
contribution. Well, I'm telling you.
Part of me doesn't believe you, but holy
Yeah.
shit. Like, all right, I'm with it. Go for it.
I'm still expecting a punchline, but go ahead.
I mean, I deeply apologize for not being able to pronounce these names. I am a Yotohime main.
Okay.
Holy crap. He's serious.
Okay.
Oh, that's the one that you get as a like a prize, right?
That's right.
Guys,
All right.
What's weird is I was originally under the impression that you could create a character. I don't know what gave me that impression, because I had never seen anything to that
they
effect
did.
in anything.
You make a good point. I thought I was gonna be able to create a character too. For some
Yeah,
reason, I
mean,
thought,
Interesting.
I don't know why, but I thought I was gonna be able to pick my fighting style and then run with it.
Yeah.
But each character has their own story, and it's very much hero based. They're
would say
even
this,
called heroes.
Yeah.
they do come across to me as more archetypes than full characters.
Mhm.
Right. And I think
I got-
that's they are like, I think this game is right now, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it is like the martial art archetype battle royale, because there's like a battle royale there's Tetris battle royale, for God's sake, and it's really good. Try it out if you haven't.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that this game, because I'm looking it up, and Johnny's main is actually it's a crossover from another game, so they have, but it's like more Japanese folklore, like forward crossover, just like we have Bruce Lee, which while not attached to folklore, he's like huge in like the martial arts thing. Like I wouldn't be surprised if they put like the IP man like protagonist, or like even as
We
like a
got Donnie
gimmick,
Yen.
like Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris is the
That
only
might be less
American
of
I
a
want to
gimmick
see
than
in
you
that
think.
game.
Yeah, for real. That might be less of a gimmick than you think. That might be valid.
He's the only
Amen.
he's the only American I want to see in that game.
Dude, or John
Um,
Wick. I don't know.
Would he be portrayed as like the ultra American, like in a lot of Japanese media, where he's like the gung ho?
No, I think he'll just have a gi on, bro. I think they'll just legit put him in a gi.
I think
And
he'd
sit
be
him
really
out there.
stoic.
You know what?
I-
What to that point, Johnny, the ultra American thing. It's interesting because how they would portray, like, what American would they put in, because you think of like American icons and movies, and it's like usually it's like very bravado, like macho or like killers, and it's insane because I was watching this podcast where one of the hosts mentions that he was watching a movie where in Japan, and in this movie it's like an American a Japanese interpretation of America, and the person like pulls out like a massive like suitcase of guns from underneath the bed or something, and like the whole movie theater went like ooh. So it's like for them it's like a fascination. So I wouldn't put it past them if they like put Chuck Norris and give him like a couple guns.
Like
You
that.
Yeah,
know,
imagine that.
That's his special ability.
you know,
Like-
on that subject, would y'all mind if I kung fu nerd out just a little bit? I
Go
sort
for
of
it.
have a top 5 wish list that I would love to see
Okay.
here in this game, right? Okay, so somebody already mentioned it, so I'm gonna put this out here. Donnie Yen. Like I would love to see like a Donnie Yen, the same way they put Bruce Lee into the game. I would like to see that, only like sort of Eat Mine ish, not the exact character, but him kind of playing some sort of facsimile of that. Um, that's one of them that I feel like has to happen. I would like to see Chow Yun Fat.
Mm,
That's another one that would be really cool. But besides that, I feel like everybody might be thinking this at some point or another when you go down a list of like actors in those types of movies that you think would fit. But
Like
I
Von
cannot-
Damme.
I
What's
can-
the actor like
Jean-Claude?
John
And
yeah,
him?
him.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. But I feel like I can't fail to mention Jet Li.
Mm.
Especially considering like his
Which
role in
Jet
Hero.
Li?
Hero Jet Li.
Okay.
Yeah, it would have to be that one. Like, okay, so
And they
Donnie
would skin
Yen, I
him
think,
over the monk. I could already see it.
yeah, you can see that. Also, since we have to add, especially given like the aesthetic and especially given like the straight sword that they have there in that little move set, Michelle Yeoh.
Oh
Mm.
yeah.
And for anybody who does not know, this is the female lead of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Or more
What else is she
recently,
in?
everything, everything,
Everything everywhere all at once.
all at once.
All at once, yeah. Which you know, I still haven't seen that movie
Me
as
neither.
much as like that's up my alley.
Me neither. People say it's like a masterpiece.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
haven't had a chance to sit down and watch it.
What was that? 4? Okay, my 5th one. I'm looking up her name because I don't know it.
And real quick, Daz, well, you looked that up. More recently, also Shang-Chi. She is
Oh yeah,
I
she's
believe-
the aunt.
Yeah,
she's
She's
the
the
the one in the mystical
Mhm.
realm.
I
I'm
would
about
Put my
to.
hat in the ring on this.
What was that?
go ahead.
I'm about to-
I just
Oh,
think
my
it
bad,
would
go
be
ahead.
very both thematic and appropriate, right? If
Mm.
we threw Baby Doll from Sucker Punch in there, because why not?
Mm,
Oh wow. Okay.
that would actually work.
Yeah, that
Interesting.
character would fit there somehow. Like
Yeah,
in a game
good-
like this, you gotta have one schoolgirl uniform character.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you put in characters, you put characters that have been acknowledged as tasteful, by obviously by the developer and by culture wise, because also you don't just want to put like a stereotypical just like
Yeah, yeah.
insulting character in there. But I think that you mentioned Baby Doll, like immediately, not her. She's not gonna be in that game, but immediately my mind went to the Lollipop Chainsaw protagonist. Like I thought of like that sort of vibe, but like Baby Doll is more martial arts.
Tame. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's crazy
And
is
aesthetically like tame.
neither of those characters has ever been thought of like tasteful or tame until like hindsight kicked in, like until enough time passed. But when you think about it, yeah, it could work.
Like
For
sure.
But go ahead. What was your last one?
So I'm about to butcher this girl's name. So
What's up,
excuse
Stark?
me.
But go ahead. Go for it, man.
But Jia Yanin, so you've heard me talk about this movie a lot. It's been a suggestion over and over and over at the end of Double XP, but it's called Chocolate.
Okay.
About the autistic girl who lives next to like a Thai boxing gym, and she picks up how to fight from that and from watching Bruce Lee movies. And her mom used to be a gangster, and she goes to collect for her because she got sick. So she goes to collect all the money that people owed her. People try to bully her, and she snaps. Uh, One of the greatest martial arts movies of like the early to mid 2000s, right? Um, her as a character, that would be so perfect. And I don't like she'd be a good bow staff character. She'd be I didn't actually pay attention. I don't think there's a fist weapon at all. But if there was, she'd be perfect for that. She'd be the best unarmed combatant in the game. And then as an honorable mention, main character from Ong Bak.
That'd be cool. And you know what's funny?
Dude.
He would be skinned over the guy I mean, the fire dude,
The monk, the monkey. Yeah.
the drunken fist dude. They would
Yeah.
they would skin him over him just in terms of look, and they wouldn't even have to do much but add like the outfit. Now, Johnny, I still don't believe you have 23 hours in this game.
Yeah, Johnny, elaborate on that. Like, tell us, like, dissect this game. What?
Yeah.
Why should people play it? Why should people not play it?
And how did you end up here?
Well, listen, I'm not sold on the game. Like, I'm not gonna, you know, cry from the rooftops that this game is incredible. I'm not saying it's not either, but I'm just saying, you know, I'm just trying something different here. And but it's cool, you know, like it's not a Johnny game per se, and
No
I
crafting.
mean, I saw
Yeah, none at all.
I'm not Baron's the crafter. It's not me, I swear. But man, I saw Baron playing, and I was like, what is this game? And
See, let me tell you guys something. Let me tell you how a part of why I'm starting to believe this story now is because he didn't invite me to play, and he didn't ask me about it because he knows that that's like the cue for me to go play something else.
Oh, yeah, every time.
Every
time.
And I got a bad habit of it. Like, I'll jump into a game and all of a sudden a review will pop up. Or all of a sudden, whatever game will pop up. Or somebody will invite me to play something and I'll get absolutely hooked into that. I am Dory when it comes to games. And it's bad. But I'm starting to slightly believe that he's playing Naraka. So I'm going to take his word on it. What's your favorite weapon?
I don't really have one. I mean, I just kind of I've been experimenting.
Okay, I'm starting to believe him. A part of me is still like he is totally like stringing everybody along.
He's joshing us.
Yeah, he's Johnnying us all the way. But I'm gonna say this: the game. I feel like I'm taking advantage. This would be my last point about it. I feel like I'm taking advantage of the fact that a lot of people out there probably don't have as good an internet as me. And they're not playing on a Series X, or they're playing on the cloud, because I can tell people lose track of like what you were talking about, Dallas, with losing track of people and whatnot. I full on take advantage of that, and I feel like I'm playing Ace Combat more than I'm playing a fighter, where I'm just like constantly trying to keep you in my crosshairs. And yeah, I want to say I've won over 5 matches and 2 solos today. And today I won 2 solos today. I think back to back. I put one on Twitter, and then I didn't want to share the other one because the kills were so close that it almost looked the same, and I was like, I don't want to look like I'm sharing the same screenshot twice. But I've been putting a whomping on these fools, and it's fun. In feel and movement, it reminds me of the Blood Hunt Masquerade. The pacing of it, like in the movement and the verticality, it reminds me of that. Outside, well, there is guns in this one too, but it's still it's fun. I'm having fun with it. Will I be playing it for a very long time?
needs to evolve.
Yeah, there is something that's kind of missing from it. Like I can see that. Maybe I need to dive in and find like the arena combat, like maybe where it's just like a small area and just beating the snot out of each other. Maybe to get more technical with the combat, because as I'm ambushing fools, it's a wrap. Like once I got my purple armor and purple or legendary greatsword, you're done. Because I'm catching you. I'm knocking you. And then if I really catch you slipping and I knock you with the grappling hook, then I come in with the great sword, and then now you're limped, and then I hit you with the upward slash with the great sword. Now you still can't get up, and then now I'm just quick attacking, and you're done. And then I run in and I take your runes. I think they're called runes. The dark coins, dark runes or something like that. I snatch that, and then I take the soul essence. And then I move on. Only time I've like really lost is when I wasn't paying attention to the durability of my weapon, and like my weapon broke in mid combat, and there was no recovery. But yes,
that's one aspect that real quick I'll say that I like the fact that there's some weapon durability, so it keeps you making sure that okay, I can't just spam my way throughout this. I have to at some point stop and restore some, but again, it's not hard to find the things to restore your weapon with. I feel like the game it's like everything, because Fortnite used to be super bare bones, but people liked it and people didn't know that it could be improved on, and look at now, it's insane how good that game is right now. So I think this game can reach that potential. It's just a matter of the support it gets, because look at Lawbreakers, a lot of promise, but that was dead on release.
You're one of the very few people I've heard admit that there was something there.
Like say it out
that
loud.
The problem wasn't exactly with the gameplay.
Dude, you know what killed that game? It was the marketing, and it was the fact that it came out as soon as Overwatch came out. Very similar games, and also the marketing was, oh, it's the Dark Souls of hero shooters. Dude, if you keep hyping people up, no. It's like the Jeff. There's gonna be 3 Elden Ring announcements. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't.
You know
You're
what?
hyping people up.
I've always been like, just enough marketing, and then like what was a big surprise, and this is super off topic. Fallen Order.
Right.
Fallen Order was a great surprise. Yeah, they were writing off the name of Star Wars, but they didn't. I don't remember much heavy push, marketing wise, and trying to sell it to everyone. I almost felt like they wanted it to bomb. Like they didn't anticipate it. Because remember, that was the last and only like EA single player, no microtransaction experience out in a very long time.
There are microtransactions.
There are microtransactions in it?
Well, like cosmetic stuff, like you can be the Inquisitor cow.
Oh, yeah, see, I didn't even know all of that, because when I played it, it was... But that's my final thoughts on that. Johnny, you got any final thoughts before we move on? On Naraka and how you drop 100 hours in this bad boy?
It's not 100, but I wanted to give you a definitive answer on your question about my favorite weapon. Because saying, oh, yeah, I felt
what
like
up,
it was
Yobi?
kind of like an answer. I'm going to submit the musket as my favorite.
Of course.
I don't think that's a surprise.
No, it's not. It was between that or the cannon.
It made me feel like I was playing New World.
He was like, remember that game? Remember that one? Huh?
I hated that one.
Yeah, you did. And then I felt bad. People did. Yeah. I didn't. I put a lot of hours into that game. And then I reviewed something and haven't went back. But okay, moving on. The big topic of the night, right? Nintendo just had a direct, for those who didn't know. And it's funny because for some reason I was under the impression that it was going to be a live stream. And from what I've seen, it wasn't a live stream. They just dropped a video.
Just dropped it.
Only Nintendo and Disney can do stuff like this. Like, I don't know why Disney markets. I have no idea why they spend money on marketing. Disney could literally just put a still up of the next Marvel show a still and say hype train, and then watch the internet just run with it, and that's
for
all
sure
they would
watch
have to do. And
That's
people are
what
gonna watch
Rockstar
it.
did. Rockstar when they announced Red Dead, they just put an image of like a sunset and like
And everybody,
horses.
yeah, I remember that. And that's
Yeah.
when you're big enough, when you got that type of clout, you could do that.
Dude, Fortnite only does this. They only do Fortnite, X, Naruto. We don't even have to show you the skins.
Nothing
We know
else.
you're gonna buy them.
We know you're gonna spend the money. See, Stark mentioned he reviewed Sifu and hasn't touched it since. When you get into that, that's a whole. We got to have a whole conversation about that whole episode about
That's a whole
the
podcast.
mindset. Yeah, of reviews. That's a whole thing in itself. But Nintendo had a direct. Now, I have a Switch. I don't play it as much as I'd like to because usually when I'm sitting down and relaxing, it's to catch up on a show or it's to pass out. So I literally, like, last game I was playing, I was running back through Dragon's Dogma, and like I just kept like falling asleep. Not because the game was bad or the Switch is bad. It's just where I'm at with it. But they announced a lot of third-party stuff, and we're getting another port of, from what I understand, is one of Dallas's like all-time favorite games. I don't know why, because all you're doing is hitting square the whole time. But
Oh no, we will not. We will not.
And I'm in the
Oh,
podcast.
Respectful to that.
And I'm in the podcast. Oh, boy.
I'm so sorry.
He wants
guys.
smoke. He wants smoke.
I'm
he
so
wants
sorry.
smoke.
You guys work your 100-hit combos.
That's not fair, man. Sometimes you also occasionally hit circle.
Yes, you do got to dodge
Oh,
every now
man.
and then. And then your little book will cast a spell to defend you whenever you slip.
He has chosen violence.
Oh, no, and his name is Vice. We not finna sit here and disrespect this man and call him outside his little book. Come on. now.
Okay, my bad. And what is it, like B6 and A13 or whatever? A1?
Oh wait, no, we talk about two different games too. Come to think of it, because you thinking Nier Replicant, and we're talking about Nier Automata. Y'all are extremely disrespectful. If I stay here and say Outriders was just post-apocalyptic Gears of War,
That's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was. It was Gears of War without the insects.
That's cap.
Without the hive.
That is cap. Listen, Nier Automata is bullet hell. It is an semi-RPG. It's not really. It's more of an action RPG, if anything, but it doesn't have many RPG elements. And what makes Nier Automata, we'll get into the direct, but real quick, what made that game so important for a lot of people
Fan service.
is that the game, you didn't get the full story beating it once.
Yeah, you had to beat it 6
There were a
times.
total
Yeah,
of 22
several
endings, I believe. And mind you, you don't have to play the first playthrough is like 20. Let's say the next playthrough is not like another 20. It could be 10 minutes. It could be an hour. It could be
And it
2
really
hours.
depends on the path that you
It
take.
depends on the path, but there's 3 characters. I'm not gonna say who's the other 2 from 2B, but there's 2B, and then there's other 2 characters that you can later play as them if you get certain endings, and then you get the full scope of that. Now, there's no railroading. This ain't a trail shooting like Gears. This ain't nothing Gears. Let's get that straight. This ain't no Gears game. This is a bullet hell action RPG.
It's a
with great
Reskin
story.
Warriors Orochi. No.
Listen,
Oh,
Warriors
no.
games slap. I don't know what you mean.
You know what? What's crazy is I was never a fan of those games until
Wars
You
game?
played Nier
War.
Replicant.
Until they put a Zelda skin on it. Until they put a Zelda skin on it, I was not a fan.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to disrespect your game like that. I apologize. Look,
I'm not. Listen,
You
I
were
didn't beat it
unclose with wine.
the amount of times. I played it once, and I get the love for it. I didn't love it that way, but what I'm saying that the game is, Yoko Taro has a very specific way that he makes games, and I think that game is like an enigma. It's like a very specific way that the game was made, and a lot of people didn't vibe with you have to beat it again, because a lot of people saw it like, oh, you're not respecting my time. And it's like, no, it's a vision. It's a story. But if you
Yoko
didn't play
Taro.
it, you see it from afar. It's like, oh, this is just another third-person action RPG. You know?
and see, I can't
You know
talk
what,
too
though?
much crap because I mean I enjoy obscure games, right? Like
Right,
I
right.
enjoyed Death Stranding. Like I got the collector's edition and everything. I even bought the Nindoroid, the full one where he has all the items.
The Sam
But
Porter, yeah.
yeah, the Sam Porter. So like, I'm all for obscure games. I just the character action games. It's just not my thing. Like I never really
Yeah, he don't even
enjoyed.
like Devil May Cry.
Yeah, I
So.
never liked Devil May Cry. Like I just
Devil May Cry.
never like even
And
like
you know what's
the
crazy?
newer Ninja Gaidens. Like I just wasn't my thing.
Oh, dude, I love those.
And so
games. I
it's
love the
easy.
Gaiden.
It's easy for you to make the mistake of thinking that games like that are just hack and slash, and like just mindless winging. It's easy to make that mistake when you don't play those types of games. But I'll say this: Yoko Taro is like, with respect to a creator as a creator,
Okay.
Yoko Taro is like Kojima caliber.
He's insane.
Yeah,
No, he's
Kojima
insane.
caliber for sure. Um,
He's a
But
visionary,
he-
like insane.
One of the things that they have in common though is they can back up their weirdness. It's not just like, it's not just for show. You're not just like that for the sake of being like that. But there's actually substance there, and there's actually something to say in your games. And it's shown in a bunch of different ways through the games. It's shown through the gameplay and through the story and through like the tone overall, and the struggles with the characters and character growth and development and all of that stuff. Even though at first glance it might be like, oh, this is just emo androids, I don't get it. There's a method to the madness there, and once you complete the first, like once you start the second playthrough, you kind of get an understanding for where it's going, and then by the fourth you don't understand anything else. You just got to play it again.
Yeah, it challenges. I not to the same. It's not the same approach at all. But my understanding of it, it's like the way that The Last of Us Part 2 challenged you to consider other perspectives and other ways of like viewing a story and how it's built. I feel like that game challenged you to also consider a different method to the madness that is a video game design. Because again, it still sticks with me. But Gary Whitta, I remember him saying how he is sick and tired of the formula of there's a level, there's a boss, and that's it. There's some challenges, there's a boss, that's it. And sometimes you need to get experimental. I saw Yeti before he left that he mentioned Omori, and I think Omori is like it's like classic like JRPG, but there's like some weirdness to it. It like reminds me of Earthbound almost.
Okay.
Earthbound was by no means common. I feel like if you're gonna do what's up, Mr. Doisha? I feel like
Hey, what up, kiddo?
if you're gonna do a game, a genre, if you're gonna do it generic, quote unquote, there needs to be something that makes it stick out. Because we're at the point where there's so many games being made. If it's not sticking out at some capacity, it's pretty much just stale. And there's nothing worse than a forgetful game.
So, in saying all of that,
Yes, sir.
this is the third time this one's being ported, right?
Is it?
Is it?
Was it? Is it on PC?
Okay, and could you list the first and second, because I'm a little lost.
All I know is everybody was excited to see this game ported.
Oh no, PC. It's the second time.
Second
Because
time.
it released for PC.
Second, yeah.
I got you. Okay.
Now, do we believe that the Nintendo Switch is going to do this game justice, or is it going to look like Kingdom Hearts 1?
Oh man, it's gonna look like Kingdom Hearts 1. It's gonna look a little fuzzier. Like that Vaseline veneer over the screen is gonna be a little worse, I think.
But
Yeah,
I
just-
don't think
just
it's a
me not
game
having-
that's. I don't think that's the game's strengths, though. I think the game's strengths are very much. I think one of the biggest strengths is the music. The music is phenomenal in that game. That won't be affected. I hope not. I don't think so. If it's compressed in somehow. If
It's
Dallas
like-
knows music, I don't know.
It's like Nintendo, we don't like these tracks. Like,
We don't like these
Will
tracks.
be,
Mute.
but I give you this though. The Nier games have some of the best music in gaming.
Mm.
Like just no hyperbole, some of the best music in gaming.
Yeah. And 2B, man, you know?
Too bad.
2B, you know?
Hey,
I know.
man, you know, robots are the future.
Hey,
No,
man. Cyborgs.
but cyborgs. Go ahead, Johnny.
I was just gonna say on the topic of Nier games.
Now you're
I'm very much
the
a
hair
fan.
removal robot game.
of these kind of games because I haven't played this series myself. I'm not gonna claim that I have, but I get the vibes just from listening to you guys talk that it's very similar to another franchise that I believe we'll all know and love, with multiple endings, where each playthrough is unique, and it's very much a rewarding experience to reach the end. That is Mass Effect 3.
Mm.
Because
Okay.
You're gonna start a fight.
I loved the multiple colored endings, and I really felt rewarded for that.
Oh, this
I
is
mean,
so this is
lot
a
more
thing, right?
nuance in that, but
He's
I
doing
feel
this. He's doing this.
Listen, Johnny. In the Shock and Sense podcast, the host, Soul, and Macho, and me, we all collectively. I haven't played 3, but collectively, there has been consensus between the 3 that 3 is the better of the 3, and that 2
No, it's
is,
absolutely too. But go ahead.
and that 2 did not have the apparently the world building or the type of narrative that 3 had. The 2 relied too much supposedly on its characters, and 3 is more of a cohesion between everything. Take it up with them if you want to come to the podcast and do some debating, by all means. But that's my experience with the opinions of this franchise, is that 3 is superior to the other 2. But that's it. Go continue.
That's the first I've ever heard that. But keep
Yeah,
going.
for sure.
I mentioned Mass Effect 3, and I just hear like 3 Phoenix, right? Objections.
Everybody's like, whoa! Everybody start, hey.
Hey. I'm like Chris Pratt in Jurassic World, like, hey.
You calm down. You don't have to do this.
Whoa. Really, everybody got on their heels, like, hey, come on, man.
In a best Denzel Washington voice. Like, oh, hey.
We're gonna leave with something. No, but no. Outside of Johnny trying to like start a debate, an argument over Mass Effect.
Let's leave it for another podcast. Nier.
Whoa,
Okay.
Nier.
It's not a full price game.
No. Yeah. Oh, see, I didn't check the price.
Really?
It's not 60. I think it's 40. It's like 40.
Look at
That's a
them
little better.
respecting people's money and basically telling you it's not gonna look good.
The game has been 40 since like for years now, I think. 40 or 50. Like it hasn't been 60
But bro, look, we're talking about the Nintendo Switch here, where Mario
where
Kart
it spikes
8
up.
is
No, the
still-
Nintendo Switch, the tax, it's there, the Nintendo tax because of the cartridge. But
Yeah.
listen, they kept it at a low. So and it's the end of your high edition, which is everything. It has everything. So
Yeah, man.
Okay. So is this something that you guys are gonna pick up? Because I know
Yes.
I'm not.
No, absolutely.
probably.
I mean,
Most likely.
I have every version of Nier that I want for now. And I
You don't want Nier on the go?
If I felt like playing it on the Switch would enhance the experience in some way, even if it was just the exact same experience on my Switch. Like if I could guarantee it would be the exact same experience, I might. But I sincerely doubt it.
Just think of it as the mobile version. Like it's just.
What's that?
Just think of it as the mobile version.
You know they have one. They have a mobile version.
You can
well,
keep
not,
Nier
it's not
or
a
Nier.
Automata, but-
Near
Like,
reincarnation.
that just-
No, it's near reincarnation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nier on the go.
Near on the go. Which, here's the thing, man. With these games, it's I can't think of another one on top of my head, but it's the kind of game that it's about the experience, not so much the visual fidelity, which is
Got you.
appropriate for the Switch. Because the Switch, when they said Apex was gonna go for the Switch, I don't know why. You know, why would you do that to yourself?
And you know what? I'm just here to talk crap, right? Because I'm all for the Switch. I have no problem with the Switch being a port machine. Like just being 100% honest with you. If you can give me some of my favorite games and put them to where they run, because I feel like the graphic issue really kicks up when you try to dock it. I don't dock my Switch.
No, me neither.
Yeah, I'm not docking my Switch. So
Plus, I have the OLED. I don't need to dock it.
I was playing The Witcher. I beat Skyrim on it. Like I went through all these things and it didn't feel like I was slighted in any way, right? Like, of course, you could tell it's not the best graphics, but then again, I've never had like the best TVs or the best monitors. So, as long as it doesn't like make me sick or doesn't look horrible, then I'm all for it. So I'm here just to talk crap because I know how much Dallas likes Nier, and clearly now I know Walt does too. So it's always gonna be fun.
I really love. Here's the thing. I didn't play it to the point where I got the whole context. Like I still don't know the story. But so this is like this is an incentive for me to, because I appreciate so much when a director or creator is so ambitious or weird. You know, that's why like
I think
movies
you also-
like, not a weird movie, but Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's a very unique experience apparently. So I appreciate that. You know.
You'll also appreciate the fact that it's not Kingdom Hearts. It's a lot easier to understand what's going on in that. Now, if you wanted to try and understand like the overall, like when I say over, like the big macro story, that might be a different case because it spans across like 3 different series damn near, and on way too many platforms. Like what, like 3-4 Drakengard games, 2 Nier games, not including one that's on mobile exclusively. Like it's almost reaching Kingdom Hearts level, but it's much easier to understand.
You too can play Android Kingdom Hearts. No, let me stop. But look, so
That's another game that in our podcast we very wholeheartedly defend. As we have, Macho is called the King of Kingdom Hearts, and he will tell you how that story is not difficult to acknowledge. And he explained to me, and he's right. That story is not at all like.
No, they just sold it to you in a difficult way. It's not a difficult story. They just really broke it up in the most obscure way for no reason other than they could.
Like we brought him up earlier, Kojima. If you try to play Metal Gear with Phantom Pain first, you're gonna be like, "What in God's name is happening?"
Even though it is the first game, and that's the
even though it's the first game, there's so many hints at like, "Oh, if you played this game, this makes more sense." You know?
Yeah.
They killed what game was this? But they roasted this to the ends of the earth. Final Fantasy 15. They roasted it to the ends of the earth for telling the story the way they told it and for breaking it up into an anime and a CGI movie and stuff like that. But Kingdom Hearts is, no pun intended, the king of doing it.
Bro, that's why I don't.
Show y'all
They didn't even
something.
give us no
But
dope
it's
movie.
Disney, bro, and Disney gets away with murder no matter how it is.
You see this? You see this over here?
Yeah, what is that?
That's a Kingslave, Final Fantasy 15 Kingslave poster. I love that game.
Bro, I got all the
adore
voice
that game.
actors
It's
to
amazing.
sign my game.
Final Fantasy 15 is
I met him at the last GameStop Expo. They had the last public
nice.
one. They had the whole panel, and they all signed it. But so we're overtime, but let's do this real quick. We normally like to go through and pick a show or a show and a game that we are actually watching and want to recommend for folks. And you guys make sure to put it down in the chat what you guys are playing and what you recommend. But let's start with Johnny because I know he plays the most games out of all of us, especially Naraka.
especially having 20-some hours.
Yeah, that's right.
He said noobs.
I'm
I'm
envious.
Shock twist. I'll have you find I've not played a single minute of Naraka.
I believe it. Yeah, I told you guys.
No, I wanted to see if I'd sold any of you.
I'd still like. A part of me believes you're still nerding out and you're just trying to save your cool, and you actually got 100 hours in this game.
Now I'm backpedaling.
I believe it.
Well,
I think you're trying to save yourself. No,
We've
it's okay.
become the fake news.
Yeah,
Fake news.
fake news.
Right. But yeah, either, I don't know, play a Paradox game because it's all cheap right now, or watch Kenobi.
Ah, okay. Walt.
Hello, my name is Walt. How are you? So, first of all, preach the word that is Persona on Switch. If you have a Switch and you've never played a Persona, this is the place to do it. Just wait for it to come out in October, and then I don't know when the rest are gonna come out because Atlas is mysterious. They're like the Bible. They're mysterious. So,
Right.
what are we watching, playing, and reading? Or listening to. What are we listening to? Listen to the Double XP podcast, Level 2 podcast, you know? It's a great podcast every Wednesday here with the boys. And the boys is everyone, because just like the show The Boys that you should be watching, it's all inclusive. Kimiko, badass. You should watch that show. If you're squeamish, consider it. Give it the first episode. Will let you know if you can tolerate the first episode. You can watch the rest of the series probably. Huge probably in asterisks.
Very huge, probably.
If you want to read something, I'm gonna recommend a manga. Go ahead and read One Punch Man. That manga is blowing my mind. If you're tired of Dragon Ball and their power scaling, if you want something a bit more better, try One Punch Man, because it's what Dragon Ball should have done, because it's like comical, but they take it serious. It's like a whole blend of things. And shout out to chapter 84 of Dragon Ball. Baron knows.
That's a whole podcast in itself.
Aside from that, go ahead and play some Kirby. I 100% of the game. It is dude. I got the little screen, 100%. Bro, that game is. I treated it. It's one of the most pure experiences I've had with a video game. It is wholesome. It is fun. It is replayable. It's a full game. There's no hints at anything missing, like DLC wise or anything. It's a full-fledged game you can enjoy. Took me about 25 hours to beat, but I took my time. It was really fun. And if you want to watch another show, because I got a 2-for-1, catch up on Stranger Things, because this week is about to get crazy with the finale.
Dallas?
Okay. Well, now that you mentioned Persona, especially if you fancy yourself some type of armchair or gaming chair philosopher, we talked about enough here that you might really like. So if you are under 18, Kingdom Hearts. I actually really mess with Kingdom Hearts, but if you want something to be able to chew on, wrap your head around, and have some weird conversations, go and play the Persona games, absolutely, but specifically play Persona 4 and or watch the animation. Also, Nier, listen, start with Nier Automata, and if you like it, move on to Replicant, and you don't have to touch nothing else. There's more than enough there to chew on. There's more than enough there to talk about. But absolutely play Nier Automata and or Replicant. Go watch the Persona 4 animation. I can't really recommend 5 because I haven't beat 5 yet, and therefore I have not watched the animation, so I can't speak on it. But I'm sure it's amazing too. But 4 did something for me.
I would say the Persona 4 animation is like it's leagues above the 5th one. But I would definitely recommend playing Persona 5 over watching the animation. But if you want to see how great that game is, watch the animation and then play the game. With Persona 4, I would say play the game and in between watch the animation, because both are great.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Also Chocolate. I didn't mention it at first because I suggested it so many times, but go watch Chocolate.
Hershey's.
Not chocolat, not the romantic one and people speaking French or whatever the hell it is they talking about. But watch the one where the little girl is just whooping ass.
All right, and from the chat we got Flameser. He recommends the anime Tomodachi game. And then he's got a review coming up for that one. Much love. And then Mr. Doja recommended God Eater, which I thought was pretty dope. I wish they would have continued it. They probably did a manga, but I don't know if they did the anime. For me, I've been on a rom-com like complete trip. I just watched I wouldn't even call it a rom-com, but I just watched Blue Period, the art anime. That one's solid. Check that out. And games to play, go play Naraka. Especially if you have Game Pass, just play it, give it a shot, run around, see if the bots are in there on your first match and get an easy win. They're not, but just to see. And make sure and then from Real Obis, what up, man? Read Black Nerd Problems essays. That actually sounds interesting. But once again, guys, thank you so much. Make sure to get all your gaming news from LV1Gaming.com. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe. And then please, 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 let's send out some positive energy out there to Famous Entertainment 2K. Make sure to send some positive vibes to Fame. And I really appreciate all you guys hanging out with us. Obis, Kiddo, Flameser, freaking Yeti, Strike. Or I'm so sorry, Stark. I don't know why I want to call you Strike. You should probably change your name Strike. That sounds dope.
Which, by the way,
Yobi.
did Johnny say his recommendations?
Johnny, did you?
Yeah.
Did you skip
Yeah.
Johnny?
No, I don't think.
Oh.
No. Did I skip you, Johnny?
Yeah, you did.
What's your recommendation, Johnny? I don't think I skipped you.
I went first.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just
yeah, he
checking
did say
because
watch
now I'm
Kenobi,
doubting
yeah,
Johnny
okay.
everywhere. I'm pressing that triangle everywhere. Doubt.
We just
And
can't
then
I'll
push
do
no
it
more,
again.
Johnny.
Paradox Games and Kenobi. Best
There you
Star
go.
Wars, like
There
for
we
a
go.
while.
and then avoid the Avengers Mighty Thor because it's just a reskin. Much love, guys. Peace.
Next week with better
Peace.
cast because Johnny's not going to be back.